Hi, Nadeem here from Smart Riding. This is a comprehensive guide to all the motorcycle specific units that are available from Carpuride today. Now the reason I'm doing this video is that people are getting confused and buying the wrong model, and then they're having issues with it because then returns, etc., and it gets messy. So I will put links in for all the models into the description of the video, and there's also a discount code from us which gives you 30% off when you're buying from Carpuride, but I'll just link everything individually so it's much easier for you to find. So first of all, we have three sizes of display. This is the 5-inch, then there is a 6-inch, and then there is a 7-inch. So they're the three options that are available from Carpuride. The most popular tends to be the 7-inch unit, but again, it depends on what bike you have, so you'll want to think about that. So first of all, let's talk about the BMW specific models. Now there are two different models, both are BMW specific, but they do different things, and you need to be aware of this. The first two units that have BMW functionality are the W502B and the W702B. Now, all they do is power up from the BMW navigation bracket using the back of the unit. So that just slots into the BMW nav bracket and powers the unit up. It does not give you data integration and doesn't give WONDERWHEEL control. So this will suit people who have maybe an older BMW and they don't have the WONDERWHEEL, or maybe you do, but you just don't care, you don't want the WONDERWHEEL control, you just want basic functionality as in to be able to use the touchscreen and use CarPlay and Android Auto. So that's who this unit is for. So the next BMW specific units are the 502BS and the W702BS. Now they give you full data integration, so all the data from the bike, it'll read everything, speed, etc., mileage, everything that you can think of, lean angle sensors, tire pressure monitors will pick up the BMW ones and it'll display them on the screen, and you go full integration with the WONDERWHEEL. So they are the top end units that are available for the BMWs. Now these have an uprated CPU and they are a lot more powerful than the normal ones because it's dealing with a lot more information. So they tend to be a little bit quicker reacting to everything as well. Now, interesting point to note is, although these are BMW specific, if you buy the BM05 mounts from BMW, then this will work with that, but obviously you won't get the data integration. But if you've got a second bike and you've got one of these, either this or the 502BS, whichever one of them you've got, if you buy the BM05, you can mount that on another bike and then you can put it on and off as you please. It will just operate as a touchscreen CarPlay and Android Auto device on a second bike. So that is an option as well. So the next unit I want to talk about is the W502S Pro and the W702S Pro. Now, both those units come bundled with a BMW style bracket, which makes it quick release, and it means you can mount it on any bike quickly and easily. There's also optional tire pressure monitors for that as well. So you can add them in and the unit will read them and it will display them for you as well. So the next pair of units I want to talk about is the W502 Pro and W702 Pro. Now, both those units come with dual Bluetooth. They have ambient light sensor, and they're basically an upgraded unit from the base W502 and W702 units. Now they also have a compass and barometer setting page, so you can go and look at that. So if you're off-road or whatever and you'd like to use the compass, you can. So decent units and they work really well. Next up is the W72 RS Pro. Now I've already got this one on the bike here, so this is a 7-inch unit, and this unit comes with the BMW quick release bracket as well, and it has a blind spot detector, so it gives you blind spot warnings as you're riding, and it's a very, very nice unit to have. I'm testing this long term at the moment, and it's working really, really well. So it's a very good unit to have. You can also still use this one on multiple bikes. So you can buy a BM05 bracket from Carpuride and it will work without the blind spot detectors as well. Or I suppose you could buy another blind spot detector from them as well and have it on two bikes and just use the one display. Now next up we have the Harley specific units that Carpuride make. It's a W502H and W702H. Now, Harley specific, basically, it's not doing any integration with the bike as such, but what it has is it's got specific mountings to go onto a Harley. Now, this doesn't work on all the Harleys, so it's not for the street glides and road glides, etc. It's more suited to like the Fat Bob, Street Bob, all the kind of naked bikes that Harley makes. So there's a little fitting kit and everything, and that makes it quite easy to get it onto them because it can be a bit difficult with them. So it's got that, and it comes with a USB power cable and a normal harnessing power cable as well. So you've got the choice. So if you've got one of the naked Harleys, the 5 or 7 inch version makes sense. So next we have the W603D and the W712D. Now both these units, as it sounds, one is a 6 inch, one is a 7 inch. They both come with dual cameras, so front and rear, and they have a dash cam function. Now the interesting thing is the W712D will also work in portrait mode. So if you've got a bike that has one of the newer TFTs, which is in a portrait mode already, you could technically put that next to it. There's bikes such as the Covey 800X Adventure now, which I've been looking at, which has a display in that fashion, like in a vertical format, so you could use it for that. And then again, there's a lot of people that are just used to looking at their phones, obviously in a vertical format, looking at maps, and they would prefer that. So if that suits you, then the W712D is a good unit for you to buy. Next is the W603. Now that's a 6.3 inch landscape format type display similar to this, and it comes with a wired controller, and it has an ambient sensor, so it adjusts the brightness of the screen as you're going, depending on the weather conditions. It's a good unit. I mean, if you want that kind of size of display, and a lot of bikes, that size of display and that layout makes more sense. So it's a very viable option depending on the bike that you have. Now, last but not least is the original unit, which is the W502 and the W702. Now, they are basic units. They just have CarPlay, Android Auto. They don't have any fancy functions. There's no ambient light sensor or anything, but they're at a very, very economical price, and they work pretty well, to be fair. They come in the 5 inch and the 7 inch versions. So if you're not looking for anything fancy, you don't want any gimmicks or anything, then these will do you fine. In addition to all the units, Carpuride also supply extra power looms and different brackets and different mounting options. So if you've got maybe 2 or 3 bikes, or you want extra, or the one that comes with the unit doesn't suit you, you want something different, they are also available. So overall, there is quite a range of units and accessories available for the Carpuride Smart Displays for motorcycles. So if I was you, I would go through this carefully and decide which one you want. Now, where the main issues tend to be is where someone's wanting a BMW specific unit and they don't get the BMW specific unit, they're ordering the wrong one. They're just ordering the W502S instead of the W502BS, and they're getting mixed up, and that's causing a lot of issues. So if you want BMW specific, there's the B model and then there's the BS models. Now I've already explained them in this video, so I'd urge you to have a good look at each of these options before you hit, add to basket and then pay for it. So please have a good look, and this will give you a much, much better overview of the range. Now, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. If you want to get in touch, my email address is on the YouTube channel as well, if you want to get in touch. Thanks. Bye.